Saving for retirement has its challenges, and according to a recent study, even the wealthy are falling short of what they'll need. Joining me now is Granger Hughes, the Vice President of Hughes Retirement Group, a Chattanooga area firm that focuses on preparing people for retirement. Granger, also popular radio show host and now, of course, popular TV co-host, right?
Right. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks for joining us. Tell me, why are those making good money, six figures plus, falling short of saving so often?
Well, it could be a lot of reasons. I mean, it could be the simple fact of wanting to live for the here and now, wanting to enjoy what you've got and, looking down the road saying, hey, 60, 70, 80-year-old me, I'll deal with that when it gets here. And I think sometimes we can push that down the road and that can be problematic. And we have to start almost being selfish for our future selves. And I think that's something that a lot of people today are not doing. They're not saving enough.
Absolutely. I fall in this bucket, unfortunately. I'm not a good saver. All right, so nobody wants to live life in retirement looking at a budget. How can we overcome these obstacles?
I think it's going to start with income. The more predictable, the more sustainable income that we have, obviously the less volatility that we have to deal with. So if we can create income sources, whether it's Social Security, pension, whether it's even rental, business income that you've got that's steadily coming in, maybe it's creating your own personal pension through insurance products like annuities, things like that, that can give us that peace of mind where we know that, if I'm going to spend 60, well, I've got 70 coming in, so I know my basic needs, my lifestyle needs are met, and then the other monies that you have are kind of earmarked for growth.
Okay, perfect. You mentioned Social Security. Why is it important to supplement Social Security with this income plan?
Well, Social Security may not be enough. Number one, you look at Social Security in the sense of already, you're hearing them talk about it being scaled back. You look at Social Security potentially from a tax standpoint. So when we get to what's called required minimum distribution age and we have to take money from our retirement accounts, depending on what that is, could it thrust us into causing our Social Security to be taxable? So we go back to that net check and how much we're actually taking home. So Social Security may not be enough for most people. Even a married couple, if you're pulling in $40,000 a year, that may not be enough. So you may need additional income sources.
All right, so if somebody is in or near retirement, they might think about playing the market. Is this a good idea? Is it a risky idea?
It could be risky.
Okay.
I mean, it depends on which funds you're using. And once again, I go back to income. If your income needs are met, then you've kind of got the liberty to do that a little bit more than somebody else. I go back to, once again, you look at you and I mean, we're in the contributing phase of life. We can handle some large market declines. We have time to recoup that. For those retirees, they're distributing from those assets. So if they're not meeting their income goal and they're using a probability-based approach, so to speak, by relying on the market returns, and the markets are negative, then that could definitely negatively impact them in retirement.
Right. All right, now let's take market risk off the table. How can our money still potentially grow?
Well, you would look at obviously products that are going to give you a contractual agreement, so to speak, such as annuities, fixed index annuities. They may be linked to something like the S&P or the Dow or the NASDAQ. So you're going to be linked to be able to participate in some of the gains of the market, but you're not having to worry about the large market declines like we've seen here recently with COVID.
Perfect. And of course, so important but often overlooked, tax planning for a successful retirement. Why is this so important?
I think a lot of people overlook taxes. You look at where we're at from a spending standpoint right now. You look at how interest rates are historically low. If those interest rates tick up, I mean, once again, that's probably going to coincide with our future tax increases because we're going to have to pay the interest on that debt. So if we're not planning for taxes, and we always say on our radio show, if you don't have a plan for your money, the government does.
Right.
And they do. So if we're not planning for paying those taxes, we're not paying those taxes while they're on sale today, it could negatively impact us.
All right. Granger, thanks so much for joining us. I know we'll talk to you again soon. Now, for you at home, there's a great opportunity available thanks to Granger and his team. For the first 5 callers with a portfolio of $250,000 or greater, he's offering a complimentary full-blown retirement plan just for you. Now, this will allow Granger and his team to personally work with you and provide you with a roadmap. The phone number to call is 423-460-8857.